Okay, this is today's lesson, and we will start from level 0. Now, we will see a lot of square roots in the near future, not only for today, but the remainder of this week and next week and the next few weeks as well. Now, just to give you a good the grand picture. Okay, now this is something we learned back in Algebra 1, but again, I'm not going to hold you accountable as of now. Okay, so back in Algebra 1, you did learn something about quadratic equations. And do you still remember this thing right here? Okay. Do you know the name of this? Well, this is called the quadratic formula. Okay, now we will play with this quadratic formula later on this week and next week. And as you can see, we have a little square root right here. So before we want to dive into the quadratic formula, using it to solve our equations, we will say, all right, let's go ahead and get ourselves very familiar with how to handle square roots before we go into the quadratic formula topic. Okay, so that's the goal for today, just to get ourselves very familiar with some operations and manipulations with square roots. Okay, so let's start with level 0. And I would say nobody, and I do mean nobody, would have any kind of trouble with level 0. Okay, so square root of 81 is 9, right? Okay. Now, I do want to make sure that you're listening to yourself. Okay, we're saying square root of 81, not square. Okay, square root of 81. Square root of 49, it's 7. Square root of 64 is 8. And square root of 121 is 11. Now, I will go ahead and make it very clear that everybody should be responsible for all the squared numbers, okay, from 1 to 15. All right, this is a very common thing that we see in math. And if you don't know, and I would say this is a good time to know. If you don't know it, then I would say, well, you are at a loss. Okay, there will be some disadvantage that you will experience, and I do not want you to experience any sort of disadvantages. So yeah, so here are the exhaustive list of all the squared numbers. Okay, so if you don't know, make sure you do know them. Okay, and quiz yourself from time to time, and then get ready. And I would be very honest with you. Out of all these 15 numbers, which one is which one's the worst? For some reason, this is the worst. I don't know why. I kept thinking 192 instead of 196. But then you think about this, 4 times 4 is 16. So it cannot be a 2 at the ones digit. So yeah, so that's how I remember that it's 196. But out of all of them, 14 square is my weakest. If you are more curious, I would say, I mean, you should always know like 10 square, 20 square, 30 square, right? You should know 25 square if you are curious. Okay, 25 square is 625. We probably won't get to that far, but yeah. So you are warned. You are warned that you are responsible for all these squared numbers. Okay, so the earlier you know them, the more sensitive you become, and that the better it's gonna be. Okay. So next up, we'll talk about level number 1. And so just go to the next video, okay? And we will start with level 1.1.